Thanks to the supporters of channel member Jacob Depew. Yeah, this is not a drill, Mrs. Wearmouth. It's happening for realsies this time in a real football match, not a friendly. We are playing Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. No, we probably won't beat them. But it's fun to play them. Sometimes it can be fun to play a football match that you know you're going to lose. I don't know how to explain football culture to you. Hello and welcome to part 34 of Holiday Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, as you can see, we're only playing Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. Since you were last with me, we have played the second round, which was also against opposition from the league above. So we've knocked out a La Liga team in Valladolid and then Lugo, who are from the division above us. So that's two giant killings already. Now we face Barcelona, who, remember, we very nearly beat in a friendly last year. And Ivan Luis, as you can see, is going into this match in quite good form, having scored all 4 goals in our previous match. Oh, God, who wants him? That's not good. But he is starting to score goals in the ongoing absence of little Kev, who, of course, broke his leg, although he's now back in rehab, so we might see little Kev again in the next episode. Rather sad for the players involved. Ivan Search and Javier Zafra both suspended for this match, so we are going a little bit makeshift at the back. Russ Eddy is going to be starting against Barcelona in a competitive football match, which is just an absurd sentence. I think when he was out on loan last season, just plugging away, playing for Soculamos in the 5th tier, I don't think he imagined that within 6 months he would be playing against Barcelona in a competitive match. Yet here he is. So this is the team in full for the Copa del Rey 3rd round game, home versus Barcelona, and fingers crossed we get to see some of the actual stars, actual first teamers this time, unlike last season when they sent the reserves. It's Romero in goal, a back four of Russ Eddy, Joffrey, Evans and Jimenez. Alex Boxall at the base of the midfield, Cucurella and Rabiot ahead of him, Martinez Perez on the left, Facal on the right, Luis up front. Let's get the team submitted. Let's see what the Barcelona team is, and let's crack on and go and knock them out of this. I mean, it's still quite similar to the team we saw last year. I don't think there's many of their starting stars in that team. We've kind of got a chance. If that's Barcelona's first team in 2028, they have fallen on some seriously hard times. Who knows, eh? We can but dream. I would imagine the Estadio Municipal Mick Powell is going to be absolutely rammed for this one. Do we get to see an attendance? 6,000. Although, to be fair, 6,000 is about our maximum capacity now because we had to put the seats in, which did get ripped out in the first round of this tournament. But then we... oh, my word! Has it been disallowed? It's the same old story from last year. We had 2 disallowed goals against them last year, but to have the ball in the back of the net after 14 seconds... If anything, that's only going to have woken Barcelona up. But yeah, we are absolutely maxed out capacity here. And Ivan Luis definitely seems up for it. And once again, we're both playing in very similarly coloured kits, which my colour blindness allows me to tell the difference between these two kits. When we played against Barcelona last season, there were a few people in the comments who were like, I couldn't tell the kits apart. So this is one of those weird situations where my colour blindness is helping, I think. Now you all know what it's like when we get a team who play in red and I can't pick them out against the grass because it blends in with the green. Right, Martinez Perez playing it forward to Rabiot. Rabiot bursts through on goal. Oh, why didn't he square it for Luis? Rabiot being a little bit selfish, which I can understand. He knows we're not going to win today, so the opportunity for him as a personal thing to grab a goal against Barcelona is probably pretty tempting, but... Oh, you're the captain now, Joseph. Think in terms of the team. Square that to Luis, and we go ahead against Barcelona, and then anything can happen. We're actually ahead of them on XG at the moment. I mean, they have had 70% of the possession, but that's not necessarily unusual to this match. It's quite it's quite a regular thing for us to have less possession than our opponents. We tend to just get the ball, move it forward very quickly. We're quite a direct team. So the other team, we're usually quite happy for them to just knock the ball around their defence and keep hold of it. When we get it forward fast. Do we get replays in this? It's still 0-0. This is an incredible performance from us. The fact it's still 0-0 with 20 minutes to go, and I'm now looking down at that bench and just wondering if we've got a hero. We're going to take off Fakal. Ivan Mutt is going to come on the right-hand side. And we are... I don't really want Russ Eddy to be on a yellow card, but we don't have another left-back to bring on. I don't want to play Nicolau at centre-back and move Joffrey out there. I'm looking at the bench, and you can tell we've got suspensions and injuries at the moment because it's looking pretty light. I think what we're going to do is going to put Jimenez to centre-back and bring on Ezra Carrington to just get up that right-hand side a little bit more. He's a little bit more attack-minded than Jimenez. We're trying to beat Barcelona here. That's what's happening. I'm trying to find a way for us to beat Barcelona with home of the third tier. Russ Eddy is now tired and on a yellow card and not playing well. And I think this decision is being taken out of my hands. I think Joffrey's got to go to left back and we bring on Ivan Nicolau to play at centre back because I think Russ Eddy is a disaster waiting to happen. It does mean we don't get to change any more of the attackers, but we now have a throw. It's Joffrey forward to Ivan Luis, who's not really had a touch of the ball since that 14-second header that he thought he'd scored with. I mean, that feeling is... that must have been a moment for him, even though it was disallowed. There was a brief moment there where he thought he'd scored against Barcelona in a competitive football match, and that's sad, because I think that's probably something we don't come back from. That's actually the first shot on target that either team have had in this match. And it's probably just enough for Barcelona to sneak past us. We'll have a look at the replay. I mean, once again, we're not being thumped. We've got to take positives from the fact that we're not being absolutely battered. I would love to have Kevin Carlos as an option to bring off the bench at this point, but circumstances just conspired against us this time, unfortunately. He couldn't repeat the heroics that he put on display in the friendly last year. I mean, this is what we were talking about before, letting Barcelona just knock the ball around at the back. Can someone just nick it off him, get it forward, and do the unthinkable? Wouldn't that be a thing? It'd be a lovely old thing, but it is Barcelona now camped out on the edge of our area, just waiting to add another goal. And I think there it is. Liam Gibbs, who we looked at last season, the man who was born in Bury St Edmunds, came through the Ipswich youth team and then transferred to Norwich. I mean, he's got loads of fans everywhere, clearly, with those kind of antics. Goodness me. But he has just scored against us for Barcelona, which is sad. 2-0. I mean, we were expecting to lose in a much more dominant manner than that. Once again, Barcelona not sending their first team, which is a little frustrating. But at least we didn't get absolutely thumped, which should mean, dynamics-wise, yeah, everything is still excellent. Everyone's still feeling pretty good off the back of that. We narrowly lost against Barcelona. No one's feeling sad in that situation. Look how young our team is, by the way. The future is very bright here at home. And income-wise, from that match, what is that big spike there? Is that where we played? Oh, no, it was Mrs. Wearmouth throwing money at us. But gate receipts, we have just done 42,000 in gate receipts. I mean, last month we were pretty high as well because of the cup games that we had. So we've actually already done 180,000 in gate receipts this year compared to less than 160 last year. And bearing in mind, we played Barcelona last year as well. That is some nice progress on our gate receipts. We're starting to get some decent attendances as well. Right, let's go play Cartagena in the second match. They are one place above us in the league. We're up to 5th now. If we go beat them, then all of a sudden, this is a happy fun time episode, and we inject ourselves into a promotion push, which, I mean, we've not been very close to it for a lot of the season, but we are starting to look half decent. Now we've got a settled striker. Who knew that's what we needed? He's the best player in the division, look. Should have been playing him from the start. Cartagena, and we've made multiple changes to the back four. Because the two boys who were suspended for the Barcelona game, Zafra and Such, are back. We have now picked up an injury to Cucurella, though, so he is going to be forced to sit this one out. Kevin Carlos is now fit enough to be back on the bench as well. Ezra Carrington comes in for Jimenez. Donut's going to start at the base of the midfield. Interestingly as well, we just had an inbox message saying Rabiot can now dictate the tempo. So in the near future, expect club captain and still only 21-year-old Joseph Rabiot to make the conversion from Mezzala to being the playmaker in our team, and maybe tasking someone else with running beyond him. I'm now thinking in terms not of bringing in defensive midfielders every year so Alex Boxall can play centre mid. I'm thinking we give up with Boxall as a centre mid, accept that he's a very good defensive midfielder, move him back there, move Rabiot into this role, then either Cucurella can play there in what is his strongest position, or we bring in someone else who can do that role. So we might be just adjusting everybody back a little bit. It's probably a task for over the summer and for next season, but certainly something to keep in the old think box. Right, let's get into this match. Cartagena are one place above us in the league, or they were before everyone else did their kickoffs, with a late kickoff today, so we might have dropped a little bit further below them if we just switch back. Cool, we've got over 2,000 people in. Yeah, there you go. We are one place below them. A win for us puts us above them. And very much in that promotion push, which that's exactly where we want to be. I mean, nobody was expecting back-to-back promotions at the start of this season, but after the way we've played against higher league opposition in 3 rounds of the Cup, we've got to believe we're good enough. What's happened? I thought we'd won a penalty there. It's not. It's Ivan Luis being offside. A penalty would have been a lovely old thing. I'm still flabbergasted by how well Alicante are doing, by the way. I did not expect them to be doing as well as they are. Intercity, though, who were flying high at the start of the season, and now so far we can't see them without scrolling. And we put 4 past them at their place a couple of matches ago as well, so they've fallen off massively. But Alicante, very much holding on and looking pretty good for promotion at the moment. I'm presuming I was going to say we probably still have to play. I think we pretty much still have to play everybody. I think this is the halfway game of the season, if I remember rightly. This is who we played on the first day, and we've now got that little run of all the pre-season favourites over the course of the next 3 or 4 matches that start with this one. There is Rabiot dictating the tempo, playing the ball out wide to Martinez Perez, who was never going to score from there. I'm not really sure what he was thinking. He was thinking, I'm going to be fancy, and it didn't come off for him. That's what he was thinking. They're playing a front 4 as well. It's quite the ambitious system. Especially because we've only got Donut as our defensive midfielder, who's not necessarily massively impressed me during his time at the club so far, which again makes me more inclined to push Alex Boxall back there. I mean, it is January. If we can shift players around in the right way, we've got a couple of our fringe players that we're looking to loan out. I'm still of a mind to let Fakal go. Oh no, I don't want to do that. If all that good, what on earth is that? Yeah. Oh God, now this is a mess. Hang on. Okay, it was just one part of a mess. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking in terms of maybe letting Fakal go. He's out of contract at the end of the season. We're never going to give him the money that he wants. So if he wants to go now, Nicolau, who's kind of the new Sai Maggio, the backup for everywhere, he's on £500 a week and doesn't really start. We've had interest in him. So if he goes, Fakal goes, we could maybe bring 1 or 2 youngsters back who are out on loan, and then there'll still be gaps to maybe bring someone else in. So there isn't a potential amount of shenanigans that could be done. What just happened? I mean, that's gone down as a Fakal goal, and that is the most generous thing I've ever seen in Football Manager. So Fakal gets the ball back from Carrington. No, oh my word, it's Carrington who has the shot, and it hits Fakal in the back of the head and then balloons up over the goalkeeper. And then Ivan Fakal has the balls to do a cartwheel. Hold on. So this is Fakal. He gives it, so Carrington, it hits the back of Fakal's head, and then it's a cartwheel. As if he meant it. Oh, we can't let him go. What a man. The audacity of doing a cartwheel there. My word. There's no way I'm accepting that he meant it either. He was outside of the area. No one's trying to head it over the goalkeeper from there. That just hit him. Right, we are going to take off Rabiot. Koulibaly's going to come on, who of course might be an option for this new look midfield that we're discussing. Rob Harley's going to come on the left-hand side, and we're also going to bring on Russ Eddy to play left back. We have got that 1-goal lead now after the brilliance from Fakal. Carrington's fuming with him. If that had hit a defender, that would have been Carrington's goal. But because it's hit Fakal and Andy's celebrated, it goes down as Fakal's goal. Right, Fred Stiebeling's going to come on for the tired Ivan Luis up front, and Ivan Mutt comes on for Ivan Fakal on the right-hand side. What I really need to happen is Ivan Mutt to have a couple of really, really good games to give me the confidence that he can occupy that position for the rest of the season. While we, oh my word, have we got cling film over the goal or something? How has that stayed out? And then we we're desperately throwing ourselves in front of the ball, trying to get blocks in, and somehow we still haven't conceded a goal. Cartagena are going to be a little frustrated. Look at the XG for today. We are absolutely mugging them at the moment and just don't care. We are very much in the mood for a mugging. Ball falls to Ivan Mutt. He just kind of lets it be headed away from him. But there is Mutt again. If he can find a good cross here, and he does. And it's Fred Stiebeling, and he's hit the post. Oh, that would have been a lovely moment for the 16-year-old. He, of course, did grab a goal for us at the end of last season. But that was when he was in the first team as an end-of-season experiment. He's now in on merit. In the absence of Carlos Carrington, is just... I mean, that clearance could be the difference between us being promoted or not there. Rob Harley runs forward, and that was such an important clearance from Ezra Carrington. I don't know what Romero was doing. It was like having Fajardo back in goal, just watching the goalkeeper flap aimlessly the way he did there. And now Russ Eddy, of course, can do low bullet throws now, but because he stood fairly close to me, I'm just telling him, just don't throw it. You're not on a yellow card. Just hold the ball until the referee books you, and then you've got 2 more goes of not throwing it, and then he'll eventually do the final whistle. But we have picked up another win in the league, which moves us up to 4th place. We've only just hit the halfway point of the season. We're hitting some good form as well. I've said all along, if we could string together 3 or 4 wins in a row, we're right in the mix. Well, that is in the league 1, 2, 3, 4 wins from 5, and a 5-match unbeaten run as well. And what do you know? We're in the playoffs and 3 points off the top of the league. This season has just spiced up a little bit, boys and girls. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.